Yeah. Hello. Hi.
Welcome to part 2.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Go on, and you start. You start off because you're interviewing me. You're the.
This is Shoaib.
Hello.
So yeah, you've had some. So 2 years ago, you thought the sun shone out of the backsides of our constabulary.
Yeah.
And the council and everything.
Yes.
And now you've had an awakening, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Yes, since last year. I think it was October when it all happened. And it all happened when I wanted to just see exactly what this was about, because I'm not really into any protest, because I've never been to a protest. I grew up in Saudi Arabia. As I said, we were not allowed to have protests in Saudi Arabia. And with that, what happened is you just don't know what exactly happens. All you do is you see news, of course, mainstream media in my case.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't even on X up until October. So I was not even on Facebook, to be honest. Like I just liked to stay away from media.
Yeah.
Just to, just live in my little
quiet
happy
life.
Yeah. That's exactly what I've always been doing, and I love doing that.
And then you saw the pound shop.
Oh yeah. And, yeah, they don't have that many pound shops anymore. I don't know why, but yeah. So
and the protesting.
Yeah.
And you wanted to listen.
Yeah.
Understand.
Yes.
But also you wanted to listen and understand the other side as well, which is quite unusual.
Yeah. I think so, yeah, because I haven't seen anybody who is a Pakistani or an immigrant who've actually gone to the so-called far right and see for himself if what they say about you guys, about me as well now, because I'm a far right apparently. So I think what it was. Before I went to the protest, I have actually seen a video of people in Swansea city centre going up to people and just literally waving their flags in their face. And I just seen that, and I just thought, oh, this doesn't look right. Because I get it that you are allowed to have peaceful protest, but that did not look peaceful at all. So I just thought, I'm going to go there, I'm going to observe. But for some reason, I couldn't go. So I went on Facebook. I actually made it an account right there and then, because I was watching it as no account, but it keeps kicking me off. Yeah. Because it says that, you have to have an account to go in there. So I made an account. I went online and I was watching it. And I think like anyone else, if you see something and it doesn't agree with you, and because it's a public platform, the reason why you would put I would say about me, the reason why I would put a picture on a public platform, because I want to see what people think about it.
Yeah.
If I like my pictures for myself, I wouldn't post it on a public, a public social media. And then when somebody comes up and say, oh, you know what, you look ugly, and I'll be like, oh, why would you say that? No, well, it's a public place. If you need people's opinion, you put it there. If you don't need people's opinion, you don't put it there. So anyways, I was there and I was watching the live in Swansea then. And as I was watching, I was sitting at home, like I said, I was in the middle of something, and I was watching it on and off. And then I seen them shouting at a family of kids with them. They were not shouting at them, but they were shouting around them. And this family, all I could see in the live, they were just trying to go across from one side to another side. And they were shouting Nazi, scum. And all I did, I just wrote. And I can't remember if it was Hate No Hope or this Stand Up to Racism, one of the pages it was. And I just commented on that. And I said, oh, this is unfair because people are trying to cross the road. This is not peaceful at all. So they start attacking me. They started. So then they thought I was somehow, somebody called me, oh, you're a white, you wouldn't understand. I replied, I said, I'm not white. Well, I'm not white. I am actually an immigrant, and I'm brown, and I'm Pakistani, and I'm Muslim. And I think this is absolutely nonsense what you're doing. And with that, I thought it was nothing, right? I did that, and I literally disagree with everything they were doing. Yeah. And all I said in that thing, if you are an asylum seeker, how come you're not coming through the legal channels? Because if you turn up here illegally, you're a criminal just before you even get here, because you're coming here illegally, which is a criminal offense. Yeah. I did that, literally no replies. I went off my Facebook. Literally within half an hour, I got a call from somebody who was from the mosque, from Swansea Mosque. And he said to me, oh, I need to see you about your comment. Or people have been sending me screenshots of your comment, and you've been saying this, that, and the other. And what? It's a public. They said, no, you have no idea the amount of danger that you're in right now. And I said, why? And he said to me on the phone, would you like it if you're walking somewhere and a Somali guy come and stab you? And I got scared. I was like, oh, you know what? Because like I said, I just told you, I like to live a very peaceful and a quiet life. I just keep everything to myself. When I got told this, I got a bit worried. Then that guy said to me, "Oh, you know what? Can you please come to the mosque? Not the Swansea mosque. It was another mosque in Swansea.
Yeah.
Or can you come up there?" And I said, "Why not Swansea mosque?" Oh, because we're worried if you go there after people have read your comment. It was a harmless.
Yeah.
It was not hit him, beat him, do this, don't do that. It was my view. And my view was, what you're doing is wrong. This is not peaceful. That's all it was.
Yeah.
So anyways, I went to the mosque. I went by myself. Obviously, I alerted some of the guys that I knew because I didn't know what was going to happen. And because they've already told me that, you might get stabbed because of the view that you had. But what I did, one thing, I recorded. I had a voice recorder, so I put it in my pocket. And I went and I seen the guy. I went to the mosque. They were praying, and I waited there. After they were done with their prayer, I can see everybody looking at me. They were a bit, but you can tell they knew what it was about, but they didn't want to show, But you could tell if there is something. So I had a feeling something's going on. But anyways, this guy came out. Nothing happened inside. He took me out, and then he said, "Oh, come walk with me." And I said, "Yeah." He was alone, and I was alone. And I said, "Yeah, we'll go for a walk." I went on for a walk. The first thing that happened as soon as he got on the walk is that he actually received a call from a prison, from somebody who was actually in the prison. And, he told me exactly, like I said, I've got recording. I would rather play the recording in front of the police so they know exactly who these people are. So I wouldn't tell exactly what happened. But he got a call from a criminal inside the prison. And this was to intimidate.
Yeah,
this was an intimidation tactic. So, and I know it was from the prison because he put it on the loudspeaker and it says that this call is coming from this place. Would you want to accept it? And, it only comes when you get a call from prison. If you get a call from prison, but I knew that. I've seen in the movies and everything. So then I was like, okay, you got a call from the prison. And then he says, "You have no idea the amount of people we got in the prison. What you're doing, you can go to prison, you can land yourself. And guess what? These people that you're talking about saying this is illegal and this and that, they got family members in there. What will happen to you then?
Yeah.
What would you do? You're a short guy. You don't like to fight. You're a very polite or peaceful guy. What will happen then?"
Yeah.
And I got scared. I was like,
Well,
you're actually right.
Yeah.
So you're actually right.
But this is how they keep people in control, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And this is, I've said it many times that Swansea Mosque is actually a mafia. It's a gang.
Yeah.
And it's run by gangsters. And the sideline is most of them work for the council.
Exactly. So after when that happened, so this is what it was. So he's talking to me and he's taking me around. In the Swansea by the different mosque where it is. So we've been going around, and what he says to me then, he says, "Look, have you ever been to a protest?" I said, "No, I've not." So he said, "What you have done there is you've been a hypocrite because you've never been to a protest and you've said something." And I agreed with him, and I said, "You know what? Actually, you're right. You are absolutely right. I've not been to a protest, so that was wrong of me to do that. So what I'll do, I'll delete the comment. I actually did my whole Facebook profile. It was only for less than 24 hours. Deleted it, left it alone."
Yeah.
And then the next thing I know was there was a protest going on in Guildhall. So when I seen that, I thought this would be my perfect opportunity to go and have a look. And I said, I'm going to go have a look because, I don't want to be a hypocrite, because usually if I'm talking about something or if I'm giving advice on anything, I would know the both sides. Either I've experienced
this is where you met Dan, isn't it?
Exactly.
Because because
Guildhall.
One of the lefties was snatched from Dan.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. So what it was after that, I've seen that protest going on. I was actually working in Guildhall at the time. It was a Saturday, and I was coming out of the shift, and I thought, you know what, I'll go and have a look because I'm on my way home. I might as well just stop here, and and I was working for the Swansea Council at that time. Yeah. So I came out. I actually, first thing I did, I went to the Philistine side, the Palestinian. I went to them. And there was a guy there. I don't know. Till today, I don't know if he's white, if he's something. He looked, I would say, his skin tone was not white, was not brown. He's just in middle somewhere. But when I asked him for his name, he said, "My name is Steve." And I said, I thought there's no reason for him to lie to me. And I said, okay. So he seen me, he asked me, the first thing he heard my accent, and he was like, "Oh, welcome. Come here," because he's thinking I'm an immigrant. Probably think like them, a sheep like them. I'm not a sheep, basically. So I like to think for my own head. But he welcomed me, and then he started talking to me. "Oh, what you doing here?" And I said, I just come here. I'm a Pakistani, but I was, raised in Saudi Arabia. So I'm here, and I wanted to see what is going on in protest. So then he started just talking to me about random things. And then when he was talking to me, I just said to him, "Is that okay if I record it?" He said, "You can record it, but you don't put my face in it." Yeah. And that is, for me, that is a bit suspicious. You turn up to a protest And while you're at the protests, which is like, it's out in public, and then you're telling me while you're giving me your opinion, or is it okay if you not show my face in it? If you've got an opinion, if you think you've got a right opinion, what is it that you're hiding from? Why would you hide your face? Are you a criminal? Or in your heart, probably these people, they know in their heart they're doing something wrong, and they know for a fact when the tables are turned, which hopefully will be turned very soon, they will be caught by the police for saying and doing things that they do behind the face coverings.
Yeah.
Anyways, he started talking to me, and then he started talking about illegal immigration and asylum seekers and immigrants. And I said to him, look, I come here legally. I pay £4,000, which includes £1,300 towards the NHS, which is in the fees of £4,000 for an extension on my visa, which is I'm living here legally.
Yep.
And on top of that, I don't get any benefits. I do pay my national insurance when I was working, and I do pay all the taxes because it goes in with my NI number. But do I get anything back from it? Absolutely nothing. And I don't mind it because I know this is how it works. I will not cry about it because I knew this when I applied for the visa. So it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. But what I do mind, when I've got people who can't even speak English, turn up randomly. For me, if you ask me, in my opinion, 100%, these people are criminals because they're turning up without any name, without any paperwork. They're just turning up. And when they turn up the way they do turn up, I don't like it because they get more benefits than I will ever receive in my lifetime. Do they even bother speaking English? They don't. They can't speak English.
Well, even the Labour Party now have had to admit that the Treasury for years have been saying if we get more immigrants in, it'll help the economy. And now the figures are showing that actually it's a drain on the economy, but they won't actually say that.
Yeah, that's it.
We know it. Yeah. You know it. Yeah. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm an immigrant. I know this is exactly what it is. And this is the problem because when I speak to people who are in Pakistan, when I speak to people who are Pakistanis or different, mostly Pakistanis and Afghanis and all these people, when they are in Europe, I ask them, if you're in Europe for the last 5-6 years, why would you want to risk your life between Calais and Dover? Like, the way they come in a small little dinghy, they can die. I said, why would you risk yourself? They'll be like, oh, because you know what? In Spain, we get no benefit. There's absolutely nothing. We come to UK, we put in our asylum application. Even if they take them, as long as they take them, we are free to do what we want to do. And you know what? These people are not what do you say? They're not broke. They got a lot of money.
No.
Yeah. So when they are here, they've got free food, they've got free accommodation, and then people crying about, oh, they only get this much money per week. Well, they don't need that money. They're not here for that money. Yeah. They are here for other things. Yeah. They would rather be in the prison cell of the UK than be somewhere else. Yeah. Right? Because the prison cell of the UK, I can tell you right now, it's probably 80% better than what a Pakistani citizen in Pakistan will have, and that is in their lifetime. Yeah. So the things they get in the prison, they will never have that.
3 square meals a day.
Exactly.
TV.
Light. As long as they've got the light, because in Pakistan they got a lot of load shedding. You don't get any lights and everything. Yeah. So for them, that is enough for them. So
your thoughts. So let's jump forward now. Yeah. So you've now the council politicised your position. Yeah. And through mutual understanding, your job was temporary and it came to an end. Yeah. And then you had a visit by the police, or Prevent First? Prevent First on a Friday.
Yeah. So I think
and you've arrived at all these things through your own eyes.
Yeah.
You didn't have a disposition like the left have.
Yeah. No.
You saw them, you saw us.
Yeah.
And you thought, well.
Exactly. Yeah. I thought there's something not right. So when they were telling me that, the people on the right are the racists, they expected me to say, oh, you know what? Yeah, because you say it, I'll believe it.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I said to them, I'm going to go on the other side and I'm going to have a look for myself. The moment I said that, even there was a white woman who came to me and she started attacking me with the Palestinian flag right in front of the police officer. The police officer was really good at that time. And she said to me, step away. And I said, look, I'm here before her. I don't want to step away because it's a free land. If she can be here, but just not in my personal space, and she shouldn't be following me around. But they kept calling me names. Before I even went to the other side with Dan and everybody else I was already called a Nazi, a brown Nazi, the first time I've ever heard, to be honest. So I was called a Nazi, a racist, literally everything that there was. So anyways, I went on the other side and I did exactly what I did on the left. So I went on and I started asking,
traitor.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, they call me mentor. I can't remember, to be honest. Yeah. So when I and a coconut as well. They call me coconut. I forgot that. A coconut. That's actually what do you call it? It's a nickname that's now my family members used to. Every time they speak to me, they call me a coconut.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I went on the right side, which was what do you call it? There was a protest going on, which was called "Stop the Boats." So I start, it's coconut means brown on the outside, but white on the inside.
Right.
And I don't mind it, to be honest. I honestly don't mind to be. So when I went to the right side and I started asking them questions, the first thing they said to me, if you want to record, you can record. On the left side, they told me, don't take our faces, do not record us. Yeah. We don't want you recording it because you're a racist. Yeah. The right side, however, who was supposed to be racist, they welcomed me. And then I remember seeing Dan, and he came and I spoke to him. And then we did an interview straight away. Like I said, I never knew who Dan was. And I knew, I heard of Voice of Wales. And that was, again, from the lefties. They always used to tell me, there is this fascist organization called Voice of Wales. There's this guy, Stan and Dan. You need to be, if you see them, make sure you let them know you're not racist. You let them know they are racist. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that because I would like to speak to these racists myself first before I make a judgment on it. So I spoke to them straight away. I got a good vibe. We did an interview. We exchanged details. We had Instagram and all that. So we started. So I actually messaged Dan first, and I said to him, "Look, my perspective has totally changed of what I've been told throughout by the lefties, by these mosques, telling me how the white people are. But I would like to see it for myself." And then I was fortunate enough to meet Tommy Robinson, because that was the highlight. Because when I did that interview, I was told by the people, "Oh, you need to be careful from Tommy Robinson because if he sees you, he's going to deport you by himself." And I was like, "Okay, let me go and find this guy who want to deport me." And
that was at Luton Airport.
That was Luton Airport, yeah. And I met Tommy Robinson, and I think it was a very brief encounter I had with him. But I did had the opportunity to actually ask him the few questions to make up my mind. So one of them was, I asked him that, "What do you think about me? I'm a Muslim Pakistani." And he literally just looked at me and he was like, "Are you legal or illegal?" I said, I'm legal. I've been here 10 years. I'm legal. I've my education from it. And he said to me, "Listen to your English. I can tell, yes, you are legal here. Do you work?" And I said, "Yes, I do work," because at that time I did have the job.
Yeah.
So I said, "Yes, I am working." And then, we got to know. And he said to me, "I have no problem with you."
Yeah.
So if a guy is telling me they got no problem with me, why should I listen to the 20, 30 people telling me, "Oh, he will deport you," when the guy himself just said to me, "I'm not going to do it"?
When they take photographs of Tommy Robinson, I've noticed that they'll always cut you out.
Yeah.
Or any other face that's not white.
Yeah, ethnic minorities, basically. Well, it's not minority anymore, but yeah. So that happened. And then after that, there was a protest just after he got arrested in London on the 26th of October. Yeah. And I think that's where everything kicked off. So when I did that, protest, because I was frontline, I've met you, Dan, Steph, and all the other people that I've met, took pictures with them, spoke to them, and I was there for 5 hours. When I did, and even before that, I met people at the hotel who were there before there and the day after as well. So I've seen all that, and I thought it's only right and it's only fair on my part that I should go and I should tell the people that not all white people are racist. If anything, this is my opinion, and this is 100% my belief. I don't care what people say. I have not seen white people as racist. I have not. I'm the brownest guy here. Look, on the camera, you can't even see me. That's how dark I am right now because of that. So I have not seen that, and all I did was observe and report.
Yeah.
And I just became a journalist for that day. Yeah. And I did that. I came back and I wrote a big post, and I think that was picked up by the Tommy's team, you guys, the Voice of Wales and everybody.
And you wrote that without any pressure from us?
No, nobody. No, there was no pressure. That was me.
And yet, if that had been a left-wing protest, they'd have said, "Oh, put a comma there."
Oh, yeah. I remember my post was, I put out the X post and I tagged everybody, I tagged Tommy Robinson, I tagged you guys, everybody who was there, I tagged them because I did a mention of everybody that people say, because you guys are media, you guys are out there and people target you, and I thought, it's only fair on me because I've met you guys, I've met Tommy Robinson, I can let them know, no, they were not racist at all. If anything, when I was on the left at Guildhall, the way they were treating me, they treated me like a foreigner. I have never ever in my life have been called a Paki. But guess what? The lefties have called me a Paki non-stop. Yeah. They call me a freshie. They've called me a Paki. They literally call me everything. And then they complain, "Oh, you know what? You got to be called a Paki by the right wing. Well, they haven't done it. You guys have already done it. So do I care?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
So but when that happened, I put that post out. That's when I got ganged up by 8 of the Muslim. Again, I'm not allowed to talk about it too much because the police investigating it. So I was ganged up outside a basketball match where I used to go and play. And I think I didn't inform a lot of people, and I was told not to go. But again, because I like to observe and report, I wanted to go there, and I just wanted to see what it is that they had to say. Because for me, I like to give a chance to everybody, which I have done fairly, to the right, to the left, to the Muslims, to the non-Muslims, literally everybody. And I have seen the true reality by giving people a chance. And that's what you need to do, give people a chance, and then judge it for yourself. So they came to me, the first thing they said to me, you need to delete your YouTube, you need to delete your X. And I said, I'm not going to do that. Why? Because
so this is the council now?
No, this is before the council.
Right, okay.
So this is the, what do you call it? This is the thuggery. This is the intimidation tactics that they use towards the people. So they said to me, you need to delete all your X. And I said, why? Oh, because you don't know Tommy Robinson. I said, well, I met the guy. Have you met the guy? No, but we know he's a racist. Well, I said, well, I'm not going to believe that because I've met the guy and you haven't. And guess what? I know more than you because I've met the guy. So I'm not going to listen to you.
Met the guy twice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, twice. Yeah. So I'm not gonna let you tell me what I should think of a guy that I have met and you haven't met him. So I said I'm not going to delete it. They kept telling me, and I think we were there for 40, 50 minutes, and I still have the recording for that as well, which again the police are investigating, and now hopefully those 8 people will go to jail, and I'm hoping because this intimidation.
And it's strange, isn't it, that an unrelated group of males told you to delete everything.
Yes.
And the council said the same thing.
Yes. Yes, none of them 8 people work for the council. There was one guy who worked for the council, got nothing to do with me or anything. But anyways, that happened. I did not give in. I came back home, and then I got a message: "You're not playing with us anymore." They deleted me of the groups because they knew I've taken. But after I had taken a screenshot, as soon as I got that meeting done, I knew it. That I literally parked my car somewhere far away from the place where I was playing. Even before I go home, I screenshotted everything. I saved the videos that they had on there, calling the police racist and everything, calling the white people this and the others. So that was my proof to show that it is the lefties, it is these Islamists, these jihadis, these Muslims, they love playing the system. And this is exactly what they've done. They've just played the system. So I did that, came home, didn't do anything. Next day, I was working from home, and that was, I think that was a Wednesday, yeah. And on Friday, I got a call from my boss telling me at the council that there was a police officer turn up saying that they need to speak to you. And I was like, they haven't come back to me. They said, no, because if the police officer turning up to your workplace, this is an urgent case because they're looking for you. They're trying to find you. And the worst thing was, after that, I did not even get a phone call. So I myself went and spoke to the police on a Sunday, but I took my lawyer with me. And when I spoke to the police and I said to them, I heard you were looking for me and I heard you went to my workplace. They were like, oh, we don't know who it was. And I said, come on, this is not okay. You literally turned up to my workplace. Now I've got questions coming out of my workplace saying that why is the police looking for you?
Intimidation.
Yeah, again. And then till today, this happened in October, by the way. Till today, I have no idea who these police officers were. No, I don't know. And anyways, that happened. They said, no, it's all good. If it was that urgent, they will be coming looking for you, but we don't think this is urgent. But I said, you did turn up to my workplace. And that happened. I went to office on Monday, and I was called into a meeting by all the bosses and managers and team leaders that we had. And they said to me that we have gotten a lot of complaints, anonymous complaint against you, saying that you're a racist. You're calling people this and that and the other. And I'm thinking now, first I was intimidated at the basketball session because I'm not scared of these people. I think by now people know I don't care about these intimidation tactics and all that. So that didn't work on me. So they went to my work. They went to the police. They sent the police to and I was shocked because I have always been the one. I've always been pro-police. I've literally, if you look at my videos, I always say, you need to trust the police. You need to respect the police. This is my message throughout the videos that I do.
And now, of course, you know that these tactics that you've had are the very same tactics that we have when we book a room. The venue gets inundated with calls, the racist, when people speak out, our guests, they get phone calls and things. And if you're connected to a charity, the charity gets.
Correct. Yeah. So this is, like I said, this is playing the system. So, I have not seen even one pro-Palestinian rally which is peaceful. None of them are. And I say this as a Muslim. I would rather, and the hatred the people have got now towards what's happening in Gaza and in Israel is because of these people, not no one else. No, the people there are still dying, by the way. It's these people here in the UK. They've taken this cause and weaponized it, make it turn it. They have turned this into their own agenda.
Yeah.
And what they have done, they try to benefit from it. Like I said,
we covered one of the early demonstrations in London, and the amount of money, the sheer amount of money, with brand new books, posters, flags, vans full of placards. The amount of money that's spent each week on those demonstrations for the Palestinians, and the books that were being sold, apart from the communist ones, some of them had swastikas on, and it was acceptable. The police saw them. It was acceptable to the police. And I'm thinking, just like you, the police are supposed to protect not only them, but members of the public, everybody, and they don't.
They don't.
And so you once the council then got involved, and they're playing now the same tune as the thugs. Yeah. Then you get a visit from Prevent.
Yes. Because
they work partnership with the council and partnership with the local mosques.
Yeah. And all these, and I think as far as I remember, these Prevent will only visit you if they were complained concerning your behavior. And I know this is a tactic, again, played by these Muslims. What they would do, they will see somebody who's not following the narrative, right? And who doesn't sit there and say, you know what, yeah, all white people are racist. Guess what? I agree with all, this is what they want to see. The moment they don't see that, the moment they see a guy like me, which, by the way, I'm the only guy who says that I'm a Muslim, and again, at the same time, I criticize them openly. Yeah. I have not seen nobody that does what I do, but anyways, so as far as I know, it is the complaints from the mosque, from the people in the mosque who have filled these forms up, who've given my address where I live and said, you know what, you need to go and check him out because we are concerned about him. There is no, if you are concerned about anybody, you should be concerned about your own people, because I have been to the mosque. I am from the mosque. I have seen what they talk about. I have seen what they do. So of course they want me quiet because I am bringing it from inside. If a guy like you says something about the mosque, first they say, have you ever been to the mosque? You say, no. They said, oh, you're lying. Because you don't know what's going on in the mosque. It's all peaceful. It's all, it's all nice, and everything is good. But when a guy like me who comes from the mosque, and I said, no, actually, I heard what you guys say, and that is wrong. Yeah. And they're like, you know what? We need to get rid of this guy. And that is me.
I mean, we've only ever criticized the mosques when they brought firebrand speakers in.
Yeah.
Or when a schools inspector have gone in and they found books that are not acceptable.
Yeah.
So the evidence is there. But you're quite right. I've never been in Swansea Mosque, nor would I go in.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I can't go in now. Do you know that, right?
Yeah.
Since everything I've done, I'm not allowed there because apparently I might get stabbed.
Yeah.
And this is something that I've told the police. But anyways, when Prevent visited me, so that day, they started out by asking me that, oh, why do you say what you say? And I told them I say a lot of things. So if you have turned up to my house, right, you didn't just turn up magically. You know why you are here for.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. They wouldn't talk about that. They kept telling me, just letting you know, there's a line that you should not cross. And I'm saying, what is the line? You cannot not tell me. You cannot not tell me there's a line, but you won't tell me where the line is.
Yeah, it's an invisible line.
It's an invisible line. But the thing is, they knew exactly what it was about. They knew exactly, what they were there to speak to me, but they would rather let me speak.
Yeah.
But what I did, obviously, afterward, people told me, you don't have, it's not a necessity. You need to let them in your house. It's up to you. But like I said, I wanted to give them a chance. So they came in. They started off by asking me, why do you go around and say that you would like the Islamic religious school to be banned, right? And I said to them, because it's my experience, I went to Islamic religious school, and I know a lot of people that went there. And for me, I was sexually harassed 4 years of between the age of 11 and 16.
Yeah.
It happened to me. It happened to some of the people, and they were not as strong as I am. And it has ruined their life. They're in their 40s right now. And when I speak to them, I feel sorry for them. And I would not want anybody else to
suffer.
Exactly. And that's what I said. And I said, you telling me being sexually harassed when I was a child, I did not know what was going on to me. I am not allowed to be angry. It's like you telling me if there's a rape victim, that rape victim is not allowed to complain about the rapist. But guess what? they're not allowed to complain about the rapist, sorry.
No.
And I know this now. I didn't know at that time when they were questioning me. Obviously, when we release the video, people can see it for themselves.
Well, you've actually seen victims on stage, and you've spoke to them.
Yeah, I have, and that was it, because I thought when he was asking me, and it was a white, the police officer, the prevent guys, 2 of them, they were white. And they were not Muslim, because I did ask them, are you Muslim? Because the first thing I want to ask them, are you Muslim? Only because if they're telling me about my religion and my culture, I would like to know if you're from the same culture.
Yeah.
The same way, I wouldn't sit here and tell you about your Christianity, because I'm not a Christian.
No.
I probably don't know the 10% of what you know.
Yeah.
Because that is your religion, it's not mine.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what I said to him. They didn't like it. I could see their faces. They were just being a bit like, oh, we thought this guy would be an idiot, but I'm not an idiot. I can speak for myself.
Yeah.
And like you just said, but they were looking at my post. They were thinking, it's you guys. Voice of Wales is the Tommy team telling him, you need to put this out. Yeah. And when we go there, when we just talk to him face to face, when he wouldn't have his buddies around him, he won't be able to speak. But obviously, it was the total opposite. Yeah. I'm an educated guy. And I
don't think we've ever said you can't say that.
No, I know nobody's but this is what they think. They always, this is like, oh yeah, he's been coerced, or he's been radicalized, and that's what they said. Oh, we are worried about you, that you being radicalized by the far right.
Yeah, and I mean, that's why do you think me and Dan argue? Not argue, but we say, oh, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's supposed to be.
Because it's called free speech and 3 thoughts.
That's how it's supposed to be. It's not necessarily that if you say something, I have to agree with it. Yeah. But we can still disagree and be friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can still disagree, and we can go to the pub. You can have your beer, and I can have my non-alcoholic whiskey. Yeah,
and non-smoking cigar.
Non-smoking cigar. Yeah. And I think they just went on, and then they did say, "Oh, we heard you're going to these marches," and I said, what do you mean these marches? Tommy Robinson marches? They're like, yeah. Because I've only been to one march by that time. So when they said, we heard you go to these marches, there's only been one march that I've been to. So yeah, that's okay. And they said, yeah, we worried about you going there. And I said, all I did was observe and report. I just went there as a journalist. And if somebody would have been racist to me, I would have come back and would have said, yeah, this guy was racist to me. And that would have been it. But no, nothing happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, it went on for 50 minutes. I could see within the first 15 minutes, 15 minutes, the prevent lost any interest in talking to me, because they could tell I was not listening to them. I was actually, whatever they were asking me, I was not just saying to them, oh, well, I think so. It wasn't like that. It was like, no, I don't think so, but I can give you the facts, the reason why I think so. It's not like, oh, because I feel like it. No, I don't feel like it. Yeah. It has happened to me. And I asked him, I said, I'm sure you didn't go to a mosque where you got sexually harassed, or an Islamic school where you got sexually harassed. Did you go there? And he said, no. I said, exactly. So don't tell me. But I still got my, what do you call them? These bruises in my legs that I can see, because after sexually harassing me, they used to beat the hell out of me, only because if I were to go and complain about them, they would say, oh, he's a bad student. The reason why he's complaining, because look, he's a bad student. That's why we're beating him up.
Yeah.
So that's what, this is all text, and you guys wouldn't know because you have not been through that.
No.
And that's what I said to them. And obviously this happened on Friday. Like I said, we will be releasing the video so people can see it for themselves. But within a day, they knew that I was recording them. I did say to them on Friday, I'm recording you. And they were like, oh, are you going to put it on your YouTube? I said, oh, you never know. I might and I might not. I don't know, but I'm just recording it. I never said no to it. I did say I might put it on YouTube. And they were like, yeah, you can do it. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. We don't mind. Or we're going to record you as well. And I said, yeah, you can record me. It's absolutely fine. This happened on Friday afternoon. Nothing happened on a Saturday. I was just out, came home. I had a late night on that Saturday. And I woke up by somebody was knocking on my door. And when I opened the door, and that was Sunday, 11 a.m., there was police there. So what I did, rather than opening it, I went on my Ring doorbell and I spoke to them through that. And they said to me, oh, we just said we want to speak to you. So this is where they lied to me. Yeah. The police lied to me. Yeah. I said to them, why are you here? Oh, we just want to speak to you. Can we come in? And obviously, like I said, I'm always pro-police. So I said, yeah, of course, come in. I would like to speak to you. If I can help you, then I'll help you. The moment they walked in, they start saying that, oh, we just need to ask you some questions. And I was in my pajamas because I just woken up. And I said, oh, can I just go and change? And they said, yeah, you can go and change. And I just didn't change. I just wore my shirt. And I then brought my phone down because I said to them, I'm going to record you because I don't know what's going on. So I want to record. They said, yeah, that's fine. The moment I started recording it, they realized that was my phone. The guy just snatched it. Like, I could have asked me. I would have given it to him anyways. There were two police officers. He snatched the phone off me. And that's when he said to me, should I be arresting you for this. Obviously, we can't discuss what the reason why. But when I asked them at that time, they said to me, "You've called someone a terrorist," which was a lie, by the way. I don't call nobody terrorist. So I'm sure my speech and my grammar is good enough not to swear at people or call them terrorists. I can literally say something without actually saying it, kind of thing. So they said that.
Sorry. Churchill called a member of Parliament a liar, and it's forbidden in parliamentary language. And the Speaker didn't get what he said, and he said that you're guilty of terminological inexactitude.
All right, so that means liar.
You're a liar.
In a nicer way. In an educated way.
In an educated way, and he let it through because he didn't actually understand what terminological inexactitude was. And it's the same thing. You don't need to call somebody a terrorist.
Exactly. But you can, and when he said that, I said, no, you know what, this is not right. And he was like, I said to him, look, I've just woken up. I need to go to the toilet. And in my toilet, I don't have any windows because it's inside a house. So as I went in, he said, oh, we're going to stand there and we have to make sure. And I said, I'm not going to go anywhere, man. There's no window there. But by this time, he's taken my phone. He put it in a bag. I was just getting myself ready to go. And I think we have just the end bit of it because, when they let me go, they arrested me. They put me in prison in custody for 15 hours.
Yeah.
For me, I've never had any trouble in my whole life.
Yeah.
Not in Saudi Arabia, not in UK, never had.
No.
But for something that I just said, mainly, which was my view. Yeah. And they put me in custody for that. And, like I said, I would still say,
And based on a lie.
Based on a lie. Exactly. Based on a lie. 100% it was a lie. They put me in custody and on a Sunday. And they interviewed me around 1 a.m. And, thank God I had a solicitor who was there to, represent me. But I was worried because on a Sunday, a lot of people are not working. A lot of people, we'll take it into a Monday. And you know how police officers are. Oh, well, yeah, it's Monday, but guess what? My shift ended at 4 a.m. I'm not going to be here till 9 a.m. So we'll do it next day. Yeah. So, when you are in there for 15 hours, and as I said, a guy like me, I have no enemies. Obviously, now I've got a lot of enemies, but before that, I never had that many enemies. I don't get into fights. I'm a soft-spoken guy. I would like to think that I'm a very loving, caring guy, and I have a loving, caring family. My family loves me. I love my family. I love my friends. But unfortunately, when they put me in prison for 15 hours, I think a little bit thing just changed. And I remember when I came out, it was 2 a.m. at night on a Monday, and I was just man. I remember I spoke to you after that as well. I was. And the first people that I'd seen was Dan and Steph. They came to my house, and I think it was a bit thing. But yeah, it was not a nice feeling at all. So yeah, it wasn't nice. But yeah, and it's shameful because, as I said, I've been pro police, and I've been very respectful towards the police, towards the country. I don't have a criminal record. That says that how respectful I am to the laws and regulation of the country. Yeah. And for police to do this, the people that I look up to, the people that I say, please come and help me and save me and protect me, and they've done total opposite.
And I know from those demonstrations that and I'm not a police officer, I could pick up 2, 3, 4 breaches each week, every time I go, because and yet some officers have selective deafness.
Yeah.
Shoaib, brilliant interview.
Thank you. Well, yeah, I think what we'll do, we will end this with when we can play the video of me getting arrested.
Absolutely.
So I have literally just put it right there, and I have cut it. It's not inside my home. It's actually when I'm leaving the home, but this is the...
Steph, have we got any popcorn?
It's 1.5 minute long. But yeah, so this is the video of my arrest. Enjoy. No, my thing is cold. Can you get there? We actually it will be in custody. I'll be nice.
I'll be there.
Yes, I don't worry. Call that.
Love you. No, nothing going off. Go in the living room for mom. Living room for mommy, please.
So shocking indictment there. You know,
Yeah.
it just shows. You know, the police. I've sat through that video. I've watched the video. I was amazed at the video. You know, when you know, there was a point in there. I don't think Shoaib mentioned it there, but when he mentioned the Pakistani grooming gangs, both the prevent officers were like, well, hang on a minute, how can you say that? Why, you know, the white grooming gangs, you know, the majority of people are white, and they jumped on it.
Yeah.
Well, now we know, literally following that, a lot has come out thanks to Elon Musk, which shows that even the prevent officers that went to visit was totally wrong.
Yeah. Well, I picked up, funny enough, on a sign that was thrown at me at the question time. 86% of groomers are white, or something like that. And I said, where have you got that statistic from?
Yeah. And you know, the thing is, per capita, yes, but Bish made a really good point. When they're charged, the point is these people weren't even being brought to charge.
Yeah.
You know, nothing was happening there.
Well, and they weren't being groomed either. You know, I mean, groomed and trafficked.
Well, that's it. You know, the 86% of child rapists are white is what it is.
Yeah.
But that is different to grooming.
Yeah,
that isn't
absolutely.
grooming. You know, so that's.
I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
Well, before you go,
sounds.
I do actually believe that you are a coconut.
Yeah.
And
we nearly got through.
And the reason for that is because you may be brown on the outside, but you've got a white heart.
Yes, there you go. Thank you, Wood. Thank you, guys. I'll see you guys.
Nice one.
Bye-bye.
So there we are. You've made Nation Scummery. First day back. You know, you've got to get your goal in.